Alright, number one, Haven, jump up there and do it real quick.
Now keep in mind, our math message is just a review of what we've been doing this week.
You'll do number 2. Haley will do number 3. Plenty of opportunities today, I promise, on this side and that side.
I want to do
Alright, agree or disagree? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me see them real quick, everybody. If you don't participate, you can owe me some money. Thumbs up or thumbs down, Kellyana and Hayden? Do you agree with Isis's answer? 2/3. I agree. Good job. Come on, Haley. Number 3. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you agree with this answer? Everybody looking this way? Blake, what do you think? Did she get it right? Very good. Not yet, Antonio. You're going to do it in order. Yeah, wait. We're only on number 4. You're going to do 8. You'll have a seat, buddy. And the picture. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you agree or disagree? Jordan, what do you think?
yes.
Yeah. All right, Ahmad. Do you agree or disagree with that answer? Okay. All right, number 5, Juan. I've already given them out, so we don't have to raise them. Everybody knows. All our problems are covered. Do you agree or disagree? Who knows what that answer, that fraction, that type of fraction is called? Improper fraction. Very good. Let's do number 6 for me, Dylan. Let's go. Quickly. Quickly. Agree or disagree, guys? Alright, good. Number 7, whoever I gave it to. Let's go, John. Good. Good. You're learning. Had a little difficulty yesterday, weren't you? Is it making more sense today? After you did a little more work on it? Number 8, who did I give 8 to? Antonio. Look at your number there at the bottom.
It's 3.
Is that a 2 or a 3? Okay, well, I'll be honest, it looks like a 2. Now, if you're not careful with your numbers, it may look like like something else and it's on a test, what might happen? You might want to go fix it for us.
Why don't you go fix it? Make it right, please.
I'll tell you in a minute, that's easy. Alright, very good, very good. It's a lot quicker than normal. Alright, Desi's passing out a paper. Just put your name on it. Do not start working on it. We're going to go over it together, okay? We're going to do it as a group. So I'll get some more volunteers to help me with this one, okay? Destiny, do you mind turning the lights off, please?
All right, let's focus on the smart board.
Now, we've got some objectives posted up on the board over here. We've got several. Now, we've been working on one. I can add and subtract fractions, okay? We've been working on that for about a week, right? We've also comparing two fractions with like denominators. So we've talked about that as well. So I don't think it's so dark you can't see the board. So, for instance, on number 4, 1/5 plus 3/5, just a quick review. Ethan. Which fraction is larger in that problem? 3/5. On number 5, Ahmad. Which fraction is smaller? 9/10 plus 5/10. Which one's smaller? If you're comparing those two. 9/10 or 5/10? 5/10. And number 6, Heaven. Which one is larger? 6/7. So we've been talking about that, right? So we can also we're going to compare more fractions today. All right. So when we compare them, we've got to know that it's only valid when we're talking about the same whole. Okay. So we can split a whole up different ways, but when we compare them, okay, we still got to use the same whole. Okay. Right. We've talked about before. Half of a basketball is going to be totally different than 3/4 of an orange, right? Or, you know, depending on the size of something, your halves are not going to equal up, right?
We have to look at our shape, what we're using, right. And then we have to find like denominators if we're going to compare things that are different.
Right.
And when we're comparing things that are the same, it's going to be a little bit easier to do.
All right. So up on the board, we're using a number line, and we're going to be comparing using the same whole, okay? We're just going to divide it up. Remember at the very beginning of this unit, what did we have you do? I brought in some different colored paper, right? And what did you all do? Do you remember, Landon?
Only made fraction sheets.
We made your own fraction strips, right? We used the same whole, right? We started with 1, used a different color, cut it in half, and we cut it into what? Different color was 4ths, then 8ths, and then I think we went to like 16ths. But every time we started with the same whole. Similar to what we're doing today, okay? Alright? Okay. So pay attention on your sheet, okay? You've got your number line at the top. Alright, so look at the very top one. I'm just going to use some different colored markers. Hopefully they'll show up there so you guys can see. Now this is, from here to here is what? The very top.
One whole.
One whole. One whole. Now, if I want to break that up, I'm use a different color for you. Where could I break that? If I wanted to break that into 2 pieces, what would we call that?
Half.
A half. Where would I break that at?
The middle.
In D, right in the middle, okay? Everybody see that? And remember what we talked about. Anytime you have these lines, you don't count the lines, right? We count what? The spaces. What are the lines there for? Helps us to remember that's where you break the lines up, break the spaces up, right? So, for instance, the top one here, from there all the way over this entire space was what? One whole. Then the space here is halves. Good. Now what can we break this next line into? What'd you say?
Thirds. 1/6.
You couldn't do thirds, okay? You gotta look, there's even spaces here, Okay, so thirds won't come into play on this. Fourths. Okay, so if we want to break this into fourths, all right, from here to here, now where would my spaces be that I would break this line into? So we know
At the top, so we already know that we have to put D there because that's going to break it into half.
That would break it into half.
And then
now
we're going to break it
halves.
each side into a half. So we're breaking each side into half. Where are we going to put our next lines to make that four pieces?
B, would that break that side in half? Okay, and he said F, would that break that side in half?
Now I have 4 equal parts,
yes,
so I have it in fours.
We have to be working with equal parts, right? So let's look. Here's the spaces. We're not counting the lines. We just broke it. And how many parts do we have there?
4.
So that's why we call it fourths. Very good, Landon. Okay. So we started with a hole at the top with the blue. Then we went to the red, cut it in half. The orange is fourths. Now what are we going to do with the green? Anybody know?
1/8.
Eighths. Very good. So we do the same thing we just did above. We split it in half at D, right? And we do what Dylan Beaver told us and go to B and F. Now that gives us fourths. Now where do I go? Antonio, what would I do next?
You cut them to fourths.
Not fourths. We're at fourths right now. What would I do next?
8.
Eighths. But how would I do that? Jordan? What letter could I split those? Where am I going to mark my spaces at? Landon.
A, C.
Did you say A, C? Well, it'd be alphabetical order, so A, B, C, D.
E.
Mm-hmm.
And then G.
And G. I got off that one. All right, so look. Counting our spaces. How many am I going to end up with?
8.
I should, right? And I did. So there's our eighths. Okay. Now, if you'll look below, you have a half, you have 7/8, you have 1/4, 8/8, 5/8, 3/4, 1/8, 3/8. Okay? That's pretty easy. Can you all figure out where that's at? We're going to go through that. Okay? But down below that, when we compare it, we're using eighths. We're comparing eighths to halves. We're comparing them to fourths. Okay? We're comparing different denominators, but we're using the same whole. So using this number line, we should be able to answer every one of these questions. Okay? Is it making sense so far? Does anybody have any questions so far? Any problems? Okay. Don't be afraid to raise your hand. All right. So the first one is done for us. D is a half. All right, we talked about a half. That's our red section here, right? We split it in half. 7/8. Can anybody tell me where 7/8 is? If you need kind of a guide, you're going to look down here at the green, where we split this line into eighths. Haven, do you know what letter 7/8 falls on?
G.
G. Would you all agree with her or disagree with her? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up if you agree with Haven.
Everybody, come on now. Several of you not.
Okay, thumbs down if you disagree.
Anybody disagree with
If
Haven?
you disagree, your thumb should be down. If you agree, your thumb should be up.
Very good, Haven. 7/8.
Good job.
That's G. I'm going to use my marker on that too. Very good. All right, 1/4. Who can locate 1/4 on this number line? Desiree. B. Would you agree? Look up here in the orange. We split this into fourths. Okay? So this would be, hang on, let me mark this real quick. We've got 1, 2, 3, right? So we have 1/4. All right, right there at B. Very good. All right, 8/8. Now, anytime you have your numerator and your denominator the same, what is that? Your numerator and your denominator is the same. What is that?
A
A
whole.
whole. Very good. 8/8. Destiny, I think you had your hand up. You know where 8/8 is on our number line?
A whole.
Hmm? What letter?
H.
Letter H. Very good. 8/8 or 1, right? Okay. 5/8. Where's 5/8 located? Ahmad.
E.
E. Very good. Very good. I think you guys are getting the hang of this. Alright. 3/4. Need some different hands here. Same hands are going up. ISIS. Oh, I'm sorry. ISIS. Did you raise your hand or were you just helping me with my technical difficulties? Okay, I got it. Dylan Beamer, where is 3/4?
C.
Not C. Look at the orange. Look at the line that I did orange. We broke these into fourths, okay? We marked these lines right here. Okay, here's your 0, here's your 1. Okay, hang on. 1/4 here. Now if you look above, when we split this line here in half, right, it's going to be a half. So this is a fourth, this is 1/2, or 2/4. They're equivalent, right? So if this one, let's say this one is 2/4, or it equals a half, where would 3/4 be? E, look how many spaces we've skipped. We skipped 2 to go to the 4th, we skipped 2 more to go to 2/4. If we skip 2 more, what letter would we be on, Dylan? Haley, can you help him out?
F.
F. You see that, Dylan? Look, we got 1/4 at B, 2/4, we skipped 2 more, and we're going to be 3/4. Okay? And we divide it into 4. So letter F on 3/4. You guys are writing these down as we go. Alright, we're back on eighths again. 1/8. Where would 1/8 be located, Jasmine?
A.
A. Very good. 1/8. A. And then finally, 3/8. Where's 3/8? C. Very good. Very good. Okay. Now we're getting to comparing down here at the bottom. Now the first one's done for us, okay? We have 3/8 right here on your number line. Let me see, I can't see. You don't see my camera. 3/8, alright, or 1/4. So the larger of the two is which one?
3/8.
Everybody should be saying this in unison. It's done for you.
3/8.
1/4. Thank you. But if you look on your number line, this is how you compare to find out. So 3/8 is larger than 1/4. Okay. All right. 4/8 or 1/2. Lewis. 4/8 or 1/2. Now listen, these can also be equal. All right. So I'll tell you what. Before we go any further, let's go ahead and fill out all the spaces on our line. Okay. So at the top, we don't need to do anything. This is one whole, right? Here we split this into half. We have 1, 2 pieces, right? Here we've got a fourth, we've got 2/4, we've got 3/4. At the bottom, what would letter B? What would that be? Ethan, what would letter B? What would we write there? On the bottom, on the green down here, on the eighths. What would I put for letter B? We're just going to label the rest of this number. Huh? Very good. 2/8. Very good. We have 3/8 at C. What would D be, Matthew? 4/8. E is 5/8. F would then be, let's see, somebody I haven't got yet. How about Timmy? What would F be on this bottom line? what?
eighths.
6/8, very good. Okay, so, for instance, 6/8 would be equivalent to what on the orange line? Anybody? Lewis.
4 2/4.
Not 2/4. Look, they have to line up. 6/8 is marked by letter F. It would be equivalent to what on the orange line, Ethan?
3/4.
3/4, very good. What would 1/4 be equivalent to on the eighths line, on the bottom line? Anybody? 1/4 would be equivalent to what, Ma? 2/8. Everybody seeing that? So 2/4 would be equivalent to what above on the red line?
1/4.
One what?
4.
Would you say one?
1/4.
You just changed your answer, didn't you? Didn't you just say the right answer before that? What did you say first? 2/4 is equivalent to what? It's at letter D, so what is that letter D on the red one?
1/2.
What's that called? Anybody? Later.
1/2.
1/2. That's what you said first, one. Pretty sure. Okay, so we go back to the paper. 4/8 or 1/2. We have greater than, less than, or equal. Who says equal? You say equal? All right. 4/8 1/2. Would you all agree with Lewis or disagree with him? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Show your thumbs up if you agree with Lewis, thumbs down if you disagree with Lewis.
All right, Lewis. Hey, go up to the board real quick and prove to us that 4/8 and 1/2 are equal. All you have to do is just point.
4/8 line up with 1/2.
Okay. 4/8 lines up with 1/2 at letter D. Very good, Lewis.
Good job,
Give him a
Lewis.
hand. That's good. We're going to put equal there. All right. Okay, the next one. 5/8 and 3/4. You need to find 5/8 and you need to find 3/4. So we're going to have the greater than, less than, or equal to on that one. 5/8 or 3/4. Landon.
5/8 is more.
5/8 is more than 3/4? Okay, come up there and show us.
Do you see where 5/8 is on the bottom?
Point to 5/8. Okay, there's 5/8. Now where's 3/4?
Yes.
Okay. So now do you still agree that 5/8 is bigger? No? So which one's bigger? 3/4.
3/4.
So you're going to
Greater
put
than
your little alligator mouth going towards 3/4, or basically 5/8 is less than 3/4. Okay? Alright, what about 1/2 and 3/4? Anybody want to tackle that one? 1/2 and 3/4. Dylan, jump on up there. Go ahead. You got it. 1/2 and 3/4. Go jump up there and point to 1/2 and then point to 3/4. We'll help you through it. That's okay. Go up there. That's how you learn.
It's okay so it struggle a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's no
Working
problem.
through that struggle. a little
Everybody's
bit.
learning at the same time.
Okay. Want me to go there with you?
Well, go up there. We're going to talk about it. Go up and point to 1/2 and go up and point to 3/4 and we'll figure it out. So on the red line up there, where we split it in half, point to that. That's at letter what? D. Now below that, where we split it into fourths, find 3/4. F. Okay, so which one is larger? 3/4. Very good.
Because F is further on the number
Yep.
line than D. Okay? That make sense?
So 3/4 is greater than 1/2. Alright, 7/8 and 1/4. 7/8 and 1/4. Who thinks they know this answer? Should start seeing a few more hands here. Might have to start picking on some people a little bit. Destiny.
7/8 is greater than 1/4.
7/8 is greater than 1/4. Good job. job. Alright, 1/4 or 2/8. Jordan, I saw that hand pop up real quick. What do you think?
2/8.
Hmm?
2/8.
2/8 what? What do you mean 2/8?
Refer to your number
2/8.
line.
Alright, come on up here, Jordan. We're going to talk about this one. It's alright.
It's okay if you know, Debbie.
Yeah,
I'm glad you know. We're going to listen to Jordan's thinking here, okay, and how he got that.
Okay, so show us. You said 2/8 is greater than a 4?
Find 2/8, but the bottom one is spaced in 8, the bottom number line. Oh,
Sorry about that.
New Highland Elementary School. There's
2/8.
2/8, find 1/4. Okay.
Now look at where they're labeled. They're both labeled what? Letter what? Okay, so would one of those be greater than the other or less than the other? What would
They
they
are.
be? Equal. Very good.
Good job, Jordan.
Okay. Got 3 more, and then we have a short little word problem. Okay. 1/4 or 7/8. 1/4 or 7/8. You gotta find 7/8 on your number line, and you gotta find 1/4 on another number line. Okay? ISIS. Looks confident. 7/8. Go up and explain your thinking for us, real quick.
You can do it.
You're right. You're right.
You're correct. Go on. Show us on the number line how you arrived at that answer.
There's
7/8.
7/8. Now where's 1/4?
G. And 1/4 is at B. So is G past B?
Large.
So, yeah, so 7/8 is greater than.
Very good. Alright. 8/8 or 1. 8/8 or 1. Jonathan looks confident on this one. What do you think, Jonathan?
1.
1 is what?
Bigger.
Bigger? Okay, come on up here. Tell us you're thinking.
You're thinking.
I may have covered it up a little bit, but you can look at any of the number lines, the very last number on that number line at the bottom. Okay? Now what I'm talking about is right here, right here, right here, right here. What is that number?
8/8.
No, what is this number down here below?
It's on that printed.
It's on the bottom. Right there. Can you see that number right there? Okay. That number is what?
1.
1. Okay? Now find 8/8. And we said anytime the numerator and the denominator are the same, it is equal to what? What? 1. You all awake?
Yeah.
And turn the lights off so everybody can go to sleep. Okay. So 8/8 and 1 then, Jonathan, are what?
8/8 is equal to bigger than 1.
Not bigger than 1. You see that 1 is at H on every line? On the blue line, the red line, the orange line, and the green line? Number 1 is at H. Okay? And on the bottom line down there where we broke it into 8ths, 8/8 is also on letter H. So therefore 8/8 and 1 are equal. Anytime your numerator and your denominator are the same number, they are
Equal.
And how might you use this outside of this classroom? How might you use this outside of the classroom? Outside of math, how would you use this in the real world when you go out of math and you leave this classroom and you go home or you go out somewhere? Where might you see these fractions? And where might you have to tell which one's greater than or less than? Is it important to know that? It's an important skill.
Is that a question?
It is a question. Landon,
On food boxes.
food boxes? Why would you need to know on food boxes?
So this is how you can see how much calories. So you can see how much calories it is.
Well, we might want to do that for portion size. That's why we might look at a food box. Haley? Measuring? Yes.
going to put ingredients and I said 1/2 of flour and
You would use it, so where would that be?
that.
At the house, in the kitchen, cooking. Okay? What I want you to do now is turn to your neighbors and talk briefly about that. Just have a discussion with your neighbors.
Yeah. Okay, guys, listen. Okay, did y'all discuss? All right. So the last problem we got is kind of very similar to what Ms. McAllister's talking about, and then the end of the day. Now, does everybody go home the same way?
No.
Some of you do what?
Ours.
Cars. Some of you do what?
Buses.
Buses. I don't think anybody would walk home, do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so-
did. Yeah, I did.
Okay, some schools, some kids walk home, right? So there's a fraction of the class that does what? Of every class in the school, there's a fraction that might walk home. There's a fraction of the class that rides a bus, and then there's a fraction of the class that car rides. Okay, so there's something. Baking, can anybody, when you all discussed, is there anything else you come up with when you use fractions? Did you say flour? So baking. Anything, Jonathan?
You can use signs.
You say signs or signs? I didn't hear you.
Signs.
Like signs, like a 1/4 mile left, 1/2 mile to the exit.
Yup.
Okay, why would I need to know about comparing fractions outside the classroom? What if I needed 1/2 cup of flour and I only had a 1/4 of a cup measuring cup that was clean? Because I didn't do the dishes. Why would I need to know about comparing fractions for that? So what I'm asking you is, I have a 1/2 cup. I need a 1/2 cup of flour to make the cookies I'm making, right? A 1/2 cup. All I have clean is a 1/4 of a cup. Can I use that 1/4 of a cup? In what way can I use that 1/4 of a cup to get a 1/2 cup of flour? Destiny.
You could, if you measure, you could see like, you could put 2 scoops.
I could do 2 scoops because 2/4 here is the same as 1/2. And that's how I could connect that when I'm making cookies in the kitchen, right? Okay, so that's one thing. That's a way that we would use this outside of our classroom. So I know a lot of times we think that we only do math in the classroom. We're done when we walk out of these doors, and that's not the case, okay? We have to know these things, and they're important.
When you get older and you start driving and you start understanding how far it is, mileage is, and how far your car will go on a full tank of gas, and you're working somewhere, and maybe you only have a 1/4 tank of gas, you're going to need to know that maybe, hey, I've got to stop by the gas station, or I might be stuck on the side of the road walking to my destination part of the way. So you use fractions a lot more in life than you realize, okay? All right, since we're running out of time, we're going to skip that last problem, okay? Put your name on what I just gave you. I'm going to turn the lights on. You're not getting any help with this, okay? This is just going to be a quick assessment of what we did today to see if you all are learning what we talked about. So it's more of the same, comparing fractions.
Very good. Now read the instructions and then write down your answer. Now keep in mind your answers are in that right
no
column.
talking.
So you should make the letter. You should write the letter to number 1 on the line 1
Yes, everybody's
in the
eyes are
column.
right here, real quick. Timmy, why are you packed up? We're doing something here. Your answers go
Class
right
is a
here,
number
is what
line.
Ms. McAllister's saying. Number 1, number 1. Number 2, they all go over here. You're not circling, you're putting your answer on the side. Let's go. Make sure your name is on it.
This is just your final assessment to go over what we did in class today. It's kind of like a post-assessment of our daily lesson. Okay, and we'll start next class tomorrow. We'll start it with what we did not finish on our fraction number line, and that way we can carry on until tomorrow. Okay?